Hey guys, I hope you liked our last video on this subject, because guess what? We made a sequel now. I'm Realm Wars II, and I have returning guests.
Gondolier, this is Mr.SirRaven here, and in the last video I was just a recorder, but this time no. I have too many things to say about this time.
Yep, and this time we have a person who will be... She was in the last part of the video, but now she's actually here in the recording, speaking her thoughts. Introduce yourself.
Konnichiwa, everyone! My name is ScarletOtaku.
Oh, you guys have a fancy way of saying hi, and I don't.
Plain monolinguistic.
You have a fancy way of saying hi, don't you know? It's English.
That's boring.
English is not boring. There are some people in Iceland that don't even know English.
English is really hard. You guys made it really hard to learn. Why do things sound the same that don't mean the same?
But anyway, that's
because
not
Latin.
Fuck you, Latin.
Well, you see, we're not here to talk about my lack of creative ways of saying hello. We're here to talk about what happened afterwards of the last video that I uploaded on this channel. Now, for those of you who saw the video, it was a Furbrose video about Kenshi's Tumblr page. Me, Hobbs, and SirRaven at a few points were actually go in and was critiquing what he wrote down. And then, right afterwards when the video was uploaded, holy shit, did things just explode with Kenshi.
God.
When I uploaded the video, there was a chat that I was in with Brawlfan, Keith, and a few other people, and he basically messages me in that chat going, "Why did you make a video on me?" And when I told him my reasons, he rage quit from the conversation. And then later on in the day, he basically came to me and he's like, "I give up. You win. I can't do anything right anymore. Oh, why don't you just call assassins to kill me?"
Geez, overly dramatic, aren't we?
I am not even...
This
I'm not
is
making
a false attempt to try and make people feel sorry for him. Don't fall for it! The tears are crocodile tears!
Yeah, you see, I'm not making that up. Those were his exact words verbatim. And then... later on, I told Kenshi, look, I have to help out with a play that my mom is attending, so I'll be back later on in the day. Then the minute I go back on, I see Kenshi making complete two-face and is suddenly blaming me and Keith for, quote-unquote, ruining his reputation.
What reputation?
What reputation?
That's pretty much what I thought.
He didn't have one to begin with. In order to have a well, he didn't have a good one at least. Because here's the thing,
he didn't have a reputation to be considered good at all!
The thing is that, like, I barely even knew who Kenshi was, and from the first time I heard it, I think it was, like, some video that I saw Rel made a long time ago. From then, like, I always associate Kenshi having a bad reputation, so it's not like he had a good one to begin with.
When it comes to a person like Kenshi, you look at what he says, and it's just complete psychobabble. He's, like, trying to confuse you in a way where it's like you can't argue back, so he declares victory. That's basically what he does. But when you actually look at what or listen to what he says, it's like, holy shit, this is stupid. Like his video on Slap Happy Gamer.
Oh my god.
I didn't see that, so I wouldn't know.
It was before you actually became part of the community, so you wouldn't have known about it.
Well, even if I didn't, I was probably around at that time, but like in a different part of the community, I was basically like watching you guys, but...
Stalker.
Yeah,
no,
but...
Not Stalker! Stalker! God!
ScarletOtaku.
Oh, come on, guys.
Oh my god, that's almost as good as Skittles.
Shut up, meat grub. Anyway, he was bitching at me through a conversation where he basically brought up these things that he had to complain about. First of all, he bitched about the description that I wrote, and the description that I wrote is like, let's take a look at this poor excuse of a Tumblr page, and it's like, really? You're surprised I talk like that in the description?
Wait, Realm's a smartass? What?
What?
And yet, this is coming from a guy who prides himself as an asshole, yet he can't take it when people are harsh to him.
Yeah, like, I don't get that.
And it's like, oh, I can make fun of whoever I want, but if you make fun of me, you're a troll.
That sounds like every single Sonic fag I've ever met, ever.
Well, he was part of the Recolor community, and most of the things he learned from the school of Vicious, so go figure.
Oh, God.
Which is sad, because even Vicious thinks he's a lost cause.
And that's just, it's Vicious, aka the person who has an incest fetish, aka the person who got super wham-faced over the whole dramatic reading and the whole trolling that Realm did back, like, at the end of last year. If he thinks you're a lost cause, that is saying volumes.
No, what's even worse, I think even Meta thinks he's a lost cause.
Ooh, wow. That is just okay.
Now,
It's
hold
like,
on, now,
I'm
wait.
sorry, what reputation did you have?
Now when we say meta, do we mean the boring meta 527 a second, or do we mean Meta Knight? Fire!
Both of them.
Both.
SirRaven, shut up.
No, your face is...
Your face! All your faces!
But yeah, another complaint that he had was, I don't like the fact that you used a picture of my sister when the picture you took of her was a profile on Skype. And his reason for that is because, oh, well, Skype was a private thing. Not profile images.
Profile images aren't private.
No, it's like, if you put them up there, then people who decide they want to add you onto their contacts, they can see it before they even add you.
That's like saying that your favorites on DeviantArt are private.
Oh, you mean like Jordan River?
Oh God, we're not gonna go there again.
No, we're not. That's basically what it is. It's like, you're basically saying something is private when anyone can get access to it. And his biggest issue is that, oh, well, why'd you have to use a picture of her on Skype? You could have used a picture on DeviantArt. Does it really fucking matter? She looks the same in both places.
So what does it really matter? Like, I thought the whole premise of it was the fact that he was mad that you used the picture in general. So no, it's just that you used the picture from Skype? But,
yeah,
you could have used a picture from DeviantArt? Then why are you mad?
What's the difference?
I even brought that up. I'm like, what's the difference between this? She looks the same in both places. Oh, well, she has a dagger in one picture. Oh, fuck, differentiation.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay. That means something?
It's like, I might as well pull a geek and put a sticker on me that reads evil and say, this is my evil persona.
That whole thing.
His biggest thing, like, why he decided to make this an issue is that he admitted to himself that he's an overprotective brother. And it's like, I'm sorry, that's not a good trait either.
Overprotective. Okay, that's just a cover-up. Oh my god. Every single hint that he actually wants to fuck his own sister is written all over his face and all over his freaking writing and anything else.
Which is funny because there's actually quite a few people who don't blame you for coming to that conclusion because it's like I said, in the end, I got a message where it says that Kenshi is into bestiality. He actually thought about fucking his dog once.
Oh god. Just... Like, here's the thing, even I at first was like, I don't know, that seems so far-fetched, but then it's like, when I learn more about Kenshi, it's not that... I'm sorry, Kenshi, but you have to admit, you're throwing up a lot of alarming red flags.
Yeah,
Which is why I worry for her.
Yeah, and the problem is he doesn't see them, or he doesn't want to.
He just lies about that.
Exactly. It's like he just lies about it and just starts playing the victim, which is funny because in that said conversation, he told me he despises playing the victim, yet what happens when you critique him? He starts playing the victim.
So we'll get more into depth with the whole Talma thing and all that shit with Kenshi and his sick fetish.
Oh yeah, we will. But anyway, it's like, let's actually talk about this conversation where I dragged Kenshi in here with Scarlet, Master TP, and I think Hobbs was there too. And it's like, the minute I put Kenshi in here, he's like, you know I hate randomly being added to conversations, which is funny because I remember sending that message to Jen, and she's like, that's rather contradictive because he does the same thing with me and Josh.
So, once again, you know, the world revolves around Kenshi.
Exactly, and it's like, Scarlet's actually trying to strike a conversation with him, and all he basically does is goes, no, shut up, woman!
Oh god, that. Just...
Oh god. It's like he couldn't just call me bitch.
Just the fact, too, like, essentially what he said in it is, like, I don't need to listen to you, woman. It's like, wow, Kenshi, how are you not sexist again?
Which is also funny because it's like, you say how he's a quote-unquote sexist. Well, another thing that I got conversations about is that Kenshi believes that women's only purpose of existence is of making babies.
Well, but that...
Okay, no.
Wow.
No. No, no.
Which, again, is one of the things that basically got Scarlet to thinking, perhaps this is another red flag, it's why Kenshi wanna fuck his sister. Here's the thing, Kenshi, her conclusions that she made are all based on shit that you wrote. So, whatever images that she sees you as, you put it there yourself, so don't blame her for coming to the wrong conclusion.
No, and if she's still at the wrong conclusion, it doesn't excuse the fact that you're a dick.
Pretty much.
No, and here's something that I want to point out, because I remember someone pointing out saying, like, oh, the fact that he called her a woman isn't sexist just because he called her a woman. Here, I just want to say this, because someone brought this up with me, someone was arguing about this, and they said, well, what if Scarlet was a guy and she was black, and he said, I don't need to listen to you, black person, would that be considered racist? Yeah, that's kind of racist.
Yeah?
That is kind of racist. To say that...
Yeah, because it's like this. You're basically denying the person's ability of speaking from their gender.
You're denying that their right to speak and then denoting their gender.
Let me just say, no one can actually tell me to shut up or not speak my mind, because I grew up in the freaking Midwest. People there speak their fucking mind.
That was a great thing about the Midwest. As well as all the corn. The corn.
Oh,
And
fucking
the children
corn,
in it.
yes.
There's corn everywhere.
And apparently another one of Kenshi's issues that he had with the video is that I didn't give criticism at all, which honestly, it irritated me like hell, because it's like, I'm sorry, I'm pretty sure I did.
I watched through that entire video, and in fact, I was there, and if I remember, there was criticism throughout the entire thing.
I thought every single thing that was being said was very honest and also very critical. So, yeah.
This one thing that he wrote here, it's frustrating when someone you actually like doesn't criticize but rip you apart, Realm, and no offense, but if you had a point, it was lost within the first 5 minutes.
Well, this is of course because pretty much after the first 5 minutes, Kenshi pretty much just broke down crying.
Yeah, and it's like, it's frustrating when someone you actually like doesn't criticize you but rip you apart. I'm sorry, but where were you on my other videos when I did the same thing?
To evaluate something and judge its merits and or its faults.
Which is exactly what I did, but his problem is that, oh, I didn't tell him how to fix it. It's like, Kenshi, you're 23 years old and you can't utilize critical thinking.
Realm shouldn't even have to tell you how to fix it. I mean, you're fucking 23. You're 3 years older than me, and him, and
No, but seriously, it's like one of the things in it is that like Realm told him, it's like we kept making fun of Kenshi, your grammar sucks. If we're saying that your grammar sucks, then maybe, I don't know, your brain could maybe process the idea that, maybe I should maybe fix my grammar so that way it doesn't suck. Did it ever cross your mind, Kenshi?
Or maybe you could actually listen to what Keith has been saying to you this entire fucking time that you've known him.
Yeah, oh no, not only that, it's like this. I remember somewhere in the video where I basically said that the colors that he uses for his characters don't clash very well with the actual My Little Pony universe when he's actually making his characters canon to the actual show. When it's like, when you listen to something like that, you want to know what a person with common sense would think? Maybe I should make things more vibrant.
The thing of it is that Kenshi is like he's like a kindergartner. He wants everything spoon-fed to him. Here's the thing, Kenshi. If you're older than me, you were in your 20s. By now, I'm assuming that you've gone to college. Hopefully, you've gotten a job.
Mr.SirRaven, he's actually doing carpentry work.
Well, okay, well, he has a job right there. He has a job. He's out in the real world. He should know that the world is cruel and no one's going to spoon-feed things to you. And it's your job to be able to analyze things, and when someone gives you some criticism, you take what they say and essentially form it and apply it to your work so that way you can fix the mistakes that you have.
No matter who it comes from. Whether it comes from someone that you know, someone you don't know, whether it's someone of a different race or a different gender. Doesn't matter. If they have something to say and they actually are critiquing your work, you need to listen to them.
Oh, it's not criticism if you don't point out a way to improve. Yes, it is. He's called Simon Cowell.
The thing, no, here's the thing, and I want to say this. Okay, here's the thing, and when it involves criticism, you absolutely don't have to take it if you don't want, but don't whine and bitch about it.
Yeah, especially when you beg for it.
And here's the thing too, is the fact that Kenshi, I often see him, it's like, he often whines about how he gets like his work is always panned. You know, how his drawings are panned, how his grammar is panned. It's like, well, here's the thing, Kenshi, you don't have to take, you know, our criticism at all. But just know this, the panning isn't going to stop. Because when people give you criticism, it's to help you. It's not to hurt you. Yes, are we making fun of you at your expense? Of course we are, because it's fucking fun. But at least you can take something from it.
It's not criticism if you don't point out a way to improve. I'd like you to meet a guy named Simon Cowell. He doesn't tell anyone how to improve. He just flat out insults you. There's this one person who's out on the stage, and they were basically like, how about you give us time? Time for what? Time to improve? We have weeks, not decades. They don't say how they improve, but it's harsh criticism.
Because by then, like, these contestants are like over 18. They should know how to fix it themselves.
And the sad thing is that even on X Factor and Britain's Got Talent, America's Got Talent, or any other fucking show like that, there are people that want everything to be spoon-fed to them. Just like you, Kenshi. And you know what? It doesn't get them anywhere. They end up walking off that stage crying.
Pretty much. And there was also this one person who flipped off the camera because of what was said to him. And also there's this one part of the same chat where Kenshi's bitching about Scarlet, how it's like, again, she's trying to start a conversation with him, and Kenshi's like, okay, Realm, Hobbs, do me a favor. When I leave, don't add me back. This woman is so obsessed.
Oh, lordy lord.
It's like, no, I could fucking say the sky is blue in the morning, and she would argue with me. No.
No. Okay.
Wow.
Kenshi, I'm always going to be honest with people, whether I know them or I don't. And from what I've seen from your RPs, your fucking conversations with people that I know, namely Realm Wars, Hobbs, Keith, and even Jen, I'm going to think that whatever is said has something to do with whatever you're actually thinking inside your head, because I know what a normal person is supposed to think from my experience, and as well as a little bit of psychology research. So no normal person would actually say something that, like, would demean them in a way that it just...
Here's the thing. I think what Scarlett's saying is that the fact is that she's blunt. And the thing is, I want to say she's very, she's very unashamed of that. And I honestly think that's a good trait about people, is the fact that she will be direct and she will be honest. Is she going to be mean? Yeah, but do you know what? Who cares?
Really, it just means you have a backbone, something you don't have, Kenshi.
And the thing is it's not the fact that it's like Scarlett just wants to argue with you for the sake of arguing. She wanted to argue with you because you were saying a lot of things that were frankly wrong and frankly offensive.
And not only that, they made me worried for your sister. Someone that I should not even have to worry about because I don't know her. And yet you bring her into this whole situation with you telling her to draw your stuff, and you're the one getting mad over everything that's being said about you and Telma. And Telma is only there along for the ride, and the only reason why she's supporting you is because you're her brother. You're supposed to treat her like a little sister and be good to her. You're supposed to respect her. With her working for you and wasting her potential of becoming an artist with your MLP shit, it's really demeaning. And not only that, it scares me because some of the things that you say within your fan fiction, it makes me worried for her because you approve of incest.
Well, it's not just this fan fiction, it's just how he talks in general.
Oh, wait a minute. I remember, I told Realm and I told Scarlett about this, about the whole thing about the fact that he improves incest. And what was one of the reasons he said is because it was legal in Japan?
No, it's not.
Yes.
Let me explain that. Here's the thing, Kenshi. Yes, there are no laws in Japan about incest because there doesn't need to be one. The cultural taboo of incest is extremely high in Japan. And as you know, Japan is very strict about a lot of their about keeping a lot of cultural traditions. That's why you don't see them breaking a lot of certain things. there was in fact a law against incest, but that was removed because it's kind of like, if no one is breaking this law, or if it's so completely shunned by society that no one is doing this, why do we need a law in place?
Exactly. It doesn't make it. There really doesn't need to be a thing. You already have this thing in order.
And FYI, you're not in Japan!
And that is a legitimate argument. And it's like, like that was like one of his things, like that was supposed to mean something? Yeah, it's supposed to mean something. You don't live in Japan. You live in America.
And you act like you actually know about the country of Japan, even though you've never been there. I'm sorry, but what experience have you had from Japan?
I watched anime.
Anime is only one particular fucking thing. You can watch manga and you can watch anime, but it's not going to teach you everything about the culture. Some of the things that they put in anime and manga are not accurate.
Oh, Scarlet, but do keep in mind, this is coming from a guy who doesn't really know much about his own country.
Oh, dear Lord.
Like, there was this one video I was in with Jen and a few others, and Kenshi happened to be there too for some reason, and I was bringing up the fact that how I didn't worry that much about SOPA, because I thought that because it went against the fair use clause, it would be considered unconstitutional, and Kenshi's like, no, it protects copyright, making it very constitutional. No, not if it goes against another law. That's why it's unconstitutional, you dipshit. And also there's this one part of the conversation with me, Scarlet, and TP where it's like, basically Kenshi decides to quote on this thing where I say, I don't need to point out ways how to improve, you should figure that out yourself. And he basically says this, really? You're going to act like that? I mean, you call it criticism, but how about actually doing something other than saying, this sucks, and this sucks, and fucking criticism? Why does it suck? How can I improve? What's the point of acting like you know everything when you won't share your supposed infinite wisdom? Oh, but no, let all your fucking toadies do your work.
Brains are for thinking.
Yeah, not only that, first of all, I fucking did, and secondly, who are you to criticize me about using quote-unquote toadies to do my dirty work when the thing is, you do the same fucking thing. When you get into an issue, you beg for Keith to fucking save your ass. And when it comes to doing your artwork, you have to get your sister to do it for you. I'm sorry, that's not making people do your dirty work for you?
Going back to, like, Thelma and basically her working for her brother, as far as the artwork itself is concerned, I feel like she has potential somewhere. It's just not with horses, because her horses look like Technicolor giraffes. Let's face it.
Oh, and then he basically tries to sum up my way of criticizing by saying this. How's this one? Realms, your videos are so over the fucking top, full of insults, and you don't fucking critic anything. Name more.
Name more. Name more. These are
ScarletOtaku, Namor. but it's like
I thought the Raven quoted Waka Waka Waka.
Oh my god, you guys.
First of all, Kenshi, I did more than just that, and secondly, just from looking at that, I could tell exactly what to do. Oh, I'm over the top? Well, hey, I could easily tone it down a little and just speak more calmly. Oh, I use videos full of insults. Well then, I can easily just take that as not being so harsh with my criticism. But of course, that's not what I do, because I'd rather be blunt and honest with people instead of beating around the bush, which is exactly what you fucking want from me.
Can I say something about his characters?
Sure, go right ahead.
Okay.
Oh my god.
His characters, every single one of them, Mary Sue's and Gary Sue's. Mary Sue's, characters that have no flaws whatsoever and are completely innocent.
Oh, well, what are you talking about? They do have a flaws. They're fucking terrible.
Mary Sue's are what make them terrible. You can't just have a flat character. Oh my god.
It's like, oh, at the beginning of a story, I gotta max out everything from my character. No, you can't do that. But they've been training forever.
With his characters, oh my god. He tries so hard, so fucking hard to try and be dramatic, when really it looks like he doesn't even put any effort at all.
And there's also like this one portion where he's then I can tell at this point he pretty much snaps because he calls Scarlet an arrogant bitch, which is funny because look who's talking.
Oh,
Like,
hello, I'm the bitch with the cannon. You should have called me that sooner!
It's like, oh, this bitch is arrogant. Yeah, this is coming from the guy who will backlash at people for giving him exactly what he wants. And then he calls me a troll, and I basically tell him, well, if you think I'm a troll, why are you still talking to me? That's a good question, Realm Wars, and he just fucking leaves. Of course I added the asshole back. and then he left again and blocked me.
Oh, that was sad.
Oh,
No,
poor Babby.
Yeah, and then it's like, I get a conversation later on from, I believe it was either Josh or Leah, where apparently Kenshi's going on about how he's over me, he's done with dealing with me. Yet the very next day, he rejoins the 1BJ chat, and he's like, oh, sup, Realm? Like, did you completely forget that I was the one who shat on you yesterday?
It's like he just got over that in the matter of like 12 hours.
He's a goldfish.
Oh my god. But yeah, that's basically what happened in that big conversation. Just Kenshi just typing up paragraph after paragraph with psychobabble. And it's like, there's only one part that I could actually agree with Kenshi on in that entire conversation, where he basically sums up saying, it's like you don't give a shit anymore. Guess what? I practically don't. When it comes to people like you, it's like, fuck it, I'm saying what I want.
Yeah. He just... But then again, I mean, it's like, this has been Realm Wars for so long. What did you expect?
Exactly. It's like, I've been doing this shit for God knows how long, and I have not seen you anywhere on my videos. But the last time where I saw him flipping a bitch over what I said about someone was when I made a video about Vicious. But that's only because he kisses his ass so much.
And the worst part is that Vicious doesn't even want him to kiss his ass.
Exactly, that's the sad part.
That is so sad.
It's like, oh my god, Vicious, I didn't think you had some form of a brain, but you kind of do.
I almost feel sorry for you, Vicious. Almost. Just not quite.
Yeah, you're still stupid, but...
You're at least not as stupid as this guy.
Oh yeah.
And then it's like, I could definitely tell he learned nothing from the video afterwards, because even to this day, I'm still being sent group conversations of Kenshi being such a fucking elitist. Especially when Keith is trying to help him out. Okay, you know the Tumblr page we made the firmware videos about? Well, he actually showed that to a friend of mine named Keith. And he asked him to give him his honest critique. He wanted this shit. He wanted Keith to tell him what was wrong with what he did. And Keith wasn't even criticizing the major faults with the thing. He was mainly pointing out the spelling and grammar. And basically Kenshi is like, well, fuck you, you're a troll, and just removes it from his contact.
And then adds him back the next day.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, I'm sorry, you ask for this shit, and yet you're gonna bitch the minute you get it? What is it you want?
He wants an ass kissing.
He just wants everyone to basically tell him that he's perfect and that, you know, his work is just, it's gold.
It's genius. It's absolutely genius.
Oh, magnum opus.
Well, guys, fuck that. I have standards.
Exactly, everyone has standards.
I know what good story writing is, and that is not.
I know what good grammar is. That is not.
He constantly critiques people about, oh, what's so wrong with my stories? About what's wrong with my stories, and when people tell him what's wrong, it's like, oh no, I'm not listening to this. Because it's like, Keith did basically summed it up to a bunch of people himself. Kenshi does not like hearing shit. No matter how you basically state it, no matter how nice you really are, if it's the opposite opinion, he will ignore it and classify you as a troll.
Or even if he asks for it.
Exactly, he'll deliberately ask. It's like, on that Tumblr page, he begged for criticism, and the moment he got it, suddenly he doesn't want it anymore. I mean, it's like a guy driving up to Burger King, ordering 50 Big Macs, and after the cooks just spend an hour after hour on the grill and finally finish those 50 burgers, the guy goes, I don't want it anymore, and drives off.
The worst part is that, you know, Keith puts up with this time after time after time, and from the sound of it, he has the most patience out of anyone that I've met.
He does. There's times where Keith has basically gone to the points where he has defended Kenshi in and out from what people have said about him, and as well as try giving him tips on how to be a better RPer. In fact, he basically teaches him, like, what's acceptable, what isn't, what's contradictory to your story, and what isn't. And even with all of that Teeth is doing for the guy, what does he get in return? He gets shit on by Kenshi himself. It's like, I'm sorry, you want to call Scarlet the arrogant bitch.
You're the one who's basically taking someone that will defend your life tooth and nail over something so stupid that you're just going to take every single thing that he's done for granted, not even caring about him, just only looking after yourself. There's a quote that I used in the chat with TP and Realm, where I basically quoted Paramore. You don't deserve a point of view if the only one you see is you.
And honestly, that is a pretty good thing to go by, because it's like, if you're really going to just position yourself at point one, then of course people are going to find irritation in that when really you don't really do something that incredible. It's like, your story writing is contradictive. It doesn't make sense. The characters are boring and one-dimensional and just cardboard cutouts of a bunch of other Mary Sues with absolutely zero effort put into their structure.
And if you really knew about the Japanese culture, you would know that the Japanese think of others before themselves. Naturally.
Well, Scarlet, we just got done saying that he doesn't know anything about Japanese culture.
He claims that he does.
Yeah, it's like he claims he's a lot of things. Like, he claims he's an asshole and he's proud of it, even though he can't stand other people making fun of him. Claim how he's an amazing story writer and knows exactly what he's doing. And there's also points where it's like, he believes he is the master of criticism, when it's like, when you look at his definition of it, it is absolutely stupid.
That's